Hello, my dear students of class 6 English medium. Today I am going to discuss a chapter from your textbook. So, the name of the chapter is The Ice Capped Continent. First of all, you have to know about a huge ice capped continent. So, ice cap continent is a huge ice cap landmass in the extreme south of the world around the South Pole. So the continent, as you know, that the Antarctica, Africa, South America, Australia, and India were once all fused together in the Pangea. So first thing, Antarctica. So the Greek word Antarctica means the opposite to north. This roughly circular continent is placed between the South Pole and the 60 degree S parallel. It is circumscribed by Antarctic Circle and is also surrounded by the Antarctic Ocean. Spread through 14 million square kilometer, this is the fifth largest continent on Earth. So you have to remember that because Antarctica continent is the fifth largest continent on Earth. It is also bigger than Europe and Oceania. So it is also bigger than Europe and Oceania. Antarctica is the Earth's highest, coldest, driest and the remotest continent. Okay. And the thickness so throughout the year this continent remains covered under 1 to 2 kilometer thick sheet of ice. When it is actually 1 to 2 kilometer thickness of ice, it is covered 1 or 2 kilometer thick sheet of ice. So Antarctica is always shown in white on the map because of the presence of ice and gets the name white continent. So it is named as white continent because of the presence of ice. As you know that the color of the ice is white, so that is why due to the huge amount of ice it is also named as the white continent. Okay, next, the whole of this continent is a great plateau elevated to 2 to 5 kilometers. So the whole of the continent is elevated to 2 to 5 kilometers, and the eastern part of the continent is much wider than the western part. Eastern part of the continent is much wider than the western part. Many seas, bays and group of islands surround the continent. Mount Erebus on the banks of Ross Bay of the Pacific Ocean is an active volcano in Antarctica. So you have to remember this. Mount Erebus is the active volcano in Antarctica, which is situated in the Pacific Ocean. Then Vinson Massif is the highest peak of Antarctica. So this is also, you have to remember this. Vinson Massif is the highest peak of Antarctica. This continent hosts many huge glaciers. This continent hosts many huge glaciers. Glaciers means a huge amount of ice, huge gigantic ice is called glaciers. So Lambert Glacier is the longest glacier on Earth. So as you know that Lambert Glacier is the longest glacier on Earth. So you have to remember this Lambert Glacier. Then next, there is a picture Antarctica continent. So just look at the picture. So our expedition, next point is our expedition, and you will find a picture of Mount Erebus, iceless terrain and other things, pile of ice, Beardmore glaciers. Okay. So our expedition, starting off at the coast of Ross Bay and traveling towards the South Pole, we find a 300 3,500 kilometer long Trans-Antarctica mountain range as we travel across the streams of lava and warm vapors from the Mount Erebus. Then we reach an ice-free valley. So even the huge rocks walls of the mountain are eroded by the mighty winds. As a distance from here is the Barsman Glacier. All around you find gigantic blocks of ice as high as skyscrapers from here to the South Pole in an endless spread of ice and permanently frozen territory. Then next, the permanently ice-clad continent is the coldest region on Earth. Severely cold weather, super chilled winds and blizzards are experienced throughout the year. So here temperature drops down to minus 40 degrees centigrade to minus 70 degrees centigrade in winter time. So Vostok is very important. Vostok, the Russian Research Center, has recorded the lowest temperature at minus 89.2 degree centigrade. This is actually the lowest temperature has recorded. The name of the place is Vostok. So this happens to be the coldest place on Earth. So Vostok is the coldest place uninhabited on Earth. So you have to remember this. It remains dark throughout the entire period of 24 hours in a day from May to August. The sun is seen nowhere in the sky during this time. So the celestial ray of light of various colors throughout the sky. So here during this time, the celestial play of lights of various colors throughout the sky you will find there. Okay, and observed during the time is called aurora. So you will find a picture of aurora, and the summer November to February is somewhat different. The temperature rises to minus 20 degrees centigrade. The sun never sets here, and the sunlight is oblique, and a good part of it is reflected by the ice. So the temperature does not rise too much. And the reason is this. So that is why the temperature does not rise too much. And the weather is more temperate. Weather remains more temperate. Okay. So that's all.